What did you make of Dave Roberts removing Clayton Kershaw after 7 innings and just 80 pitches? What'd you make of all of that?
I think that from a baseball standpoint, right, and it was Dave Roberts who did it, but these moves are made also organizationally down in terms of how they're going to use players. That decision is not just about that game; it's about the next series and the whole series. It's what's the right decision to help the Dodgers win the World Series. So I get it. Kershaw obviously had been injured, short spring training, all of that. The only downside really is that fans were deprived. If you went to Minnesota that day, the old adage is, right, anything can happen. There's 162 games, and anything can happen on any day. Well, that day something really special might have happened. It didn't because of that decision.
I know.
So I think it's a little bit of a loss, but I understand why the organization.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, that's the right nuanced answer. I just think again, here we are on Jackie Robinson Day talking about what an electrifying player he was. I mean, who's the guy in baseball right now who's that leadoff guy that you can't miss because he gets on first and it's entirely possible he scores? We're just so focused on exit velocity so much these days, and it just seems that I don't know, like the game's different, and I don't know how much better it is, to be honest with you, Kostya. I mean, am I wrong?
No, I think you're right. I think one of the paradoxes about it is that some of the analytics emphasis on power, right? Emphasis on swing and miss for a pitcher, emphasis on defensive shifts, don't steal, don't hit and run. All of those things make analytic sense. If you're running a team and your goal is to win, I understand why you would say this is what we're going to do. But all of those are things that hurt fans, right? You like to see a stolen base. It's exciting. You want to see the ball put into play and not either a strikeout or a home run. So I think a lot of these advanced metrics definitely hurt people like us, right, who like to watch the game and hopefully, enjoy the game, even though they make sense on the ground in terms of helping a team win.
I mean, the famed line of the general manager du jour, one would say, in Branch Rickey, luck is the residue of design. He meant design of your baseball roster, right? I mean, he didn't mean design of a pitching plan that you put together in a conference room of a hotel room 9 hours before first pitch, demanding your manager put this person in that circumstance after 4 1/3. Like that's the design of baseball these days. Yeah,
no, you're right. That is a design. And I mean, I guess the one thing organizations, and especially organizations like the Dodgers and the Rays, they're really good about communicating that to the players. So at least the players sort of know, and they say, hey, this is what we're doing. But, I agree with you. And I think that there was a moment when Walker Buehler was pitching, I think in the playoffs of the World Series, you have to remind me, a couple years ago when he pitched 7 strong innings and then he came out. And you could see Sandy Koufax behind home plate stand up and applaud Walker Buehler. There's something about a great pitching performance, about being in there. Yes, maybe you get a little tired, you lose a little bit of your stuff, and you're still going on. It's super compelling for a fan to watch. It's just great to watch. And we're, for the most part, losing that. I mean, if we don't get Clayton Kershaw out with a 6-0 lead in the 8th inning when he's thrown 80 pitches, we're not going to get it very often, right? So it's a big loss, no question.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.